Vamsi Vibhushitakaranavaniradabhat Pitambara Darunabimba Phaladharostat Purnendu Sundara Mukhadaravinda Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Welcome to the Friday scripture class. And today's scripture is Uddhava Gita, the last message of Krishna. So, to given to Uddhava and through Uddhava to whole mankind. So, Uddhava Gita, as we know, it's from the Bhagavatam, and in the beginning there is some reference to bhakti, but now the portion that we're studying is full of knowledge, and knowledge means you have to dissociate from the unreality. And what is unreality? Unreality includes that everything that is impermanent, that is created and destroyed, which includes this whole universe, our thoughts, this body, this our ego. Everything is unreal because they are born in time and they are destroyed. So it is all about disidentifying with something that is not we. Our true nature, our reality is supreme bliss, unchanging, immortal, infinite. So to focus on that, says this chapter comes where Sanaka's question of the Sanaka brothers to Brahma, when Brahma invokes the supreme Atman or Narayana, he comes in the form of Hamsa, whereby Hamsa literally meaning swan, but here it means a wise person. He comes there and teaches that how to separate the mind from the sense objects. So it's all attraction, and there is suffering after that, as it is said in the Gita, yehi sansparsaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evati. Whatever is the pleasures born of the contact of senses with the sense objects and given back to mind is all beset with suffering. So that knowing that how to dissociate mind going to the objects. So that was the question of Sanaka brothers to Brahma. And when wise person or Hamsa comes, the God himself comes in the form of Hamsa. Sri Krishna says, I was that Hamsa. When Hamsa comes in the form of Hamsa, wise person comes called Hamsa, he says that why do you want to dissociate mind from the objects? Treat both mind and objects are not you. They are not, don't identify yourself with the mind. Mistake by identifying with the mind and then trying to keep mind as where mind were you and objects were pain giving thing. And when you are mind alone, you will be freed. Don't treat that way. Both mind and objects are all material. You are none of them. You are not mind. So this mind, body, intellect, all these are changing verities. So don't treat them as yourself and try to know who you are. And when you know that you are that blissful self, that rest on that yourself and disown even the mind, even the body, even the objects, all this created material universe. You are not. You are spirit, you are soul, you are Atman. So which completely changes the focus of the aspirant from trying to control the mind from the objects. He says they are meant for themselves. So just don't bother for that. Totally new sadhana, he teaches that try to understand your true self and there is no problem. So we did on the last our Uddhava Gita class, what's chapter 8, and the last verse we read was 32. Yo jagare bahiranukshan dharminorthan bhungte samasta karaner hiditat sadrikshan swapne susupta upasam harate saeka smrityanvanyat triguna vrittiritrigindrivesha. So what it says is one who was sleeping and who was dreaming The same being is now awake. The real person is continuously one being in all the states. Though mind was not working in our deep sleep state, mind was creating everything in our dreamy state, and mind is observing and seeing in the waking state. But mind is all changing. But one who is constantly present and not changing is the sweetness consciousness called the Atman. That Atman is one that is in all the states, it is watching, looking, understanding, it knows everything. That is the one which is continuous, which is yourself. One who knows the dream, who was there in dream, one who was in deep sleep, and one who is in waking state. That is the Atman. Focus on that being, who is always constantly watching means witness of all these three states that you are. So try to focus on that one which is there in all the stages, and don't identify with the mind which is not there in the sleeping state, which is all creating fantasies in the dream state, and which is trying to understand and seek and get and enjoy in the waking state. Don't think that you are that Atman. Very much Vedantic and very much Advaitic Vedantic philosophy that Sri Krishna brings here. So that is what is very nicely said. So focus on your true self, which is same. It doesn't change when you are dreaming, when you are in deep sleep, when you are awake. It is same. It doesn't change. It is always awake. It never sleeps. It is because it is not material. Material that go to action and that needs rest. Our muscles, our nerves, our impulses, our blood circulation, our heartbeat, they're all active, and then they go slow or they take rest in the sleep. So it is not that way. So it is about the one which is always same in all three states. Focus on your that being that you are one same in all stages of life. The so what is said, the one who was there, who was witness of the sleep, is the witness of the dream and also witness of the waking state. He is common. So he said that, oh, when he identifies or says something that I was dreaming, I am awake, I was in deep sleep, that real I, try to catch real I, which manifests or which expresses through your ego and through your mind. Behind the mind, manaso manoyat, that's why it says chakshus chakshum manaso manoyat. That's what is the Upanishad says. It is the mind of the mind and the eye of the eye. So that being which is behind the eye, behind the mind, whichever which works, manifests, expresses through your mind or eyes, though they're all just external instrument for it. Try to go deeper and try to catch that deep-seated your true being. So it is not easy. It needs a lot of internal thought and to understand who I am, to ask question for yourself. Because the scriptures say, I am that witness consciousness, and that blissful being ever existing. We are one with existence itself. But when we identify with self of the body, we know it perishes, it dies. We know of the mind, it always changes. So how does it fit with our idea of who I am? So go deeper and you try to catch. Then you feel that yes, it is beyond mind, beyond body, that being I am, to which the changes in the body and mind are just observation. That's what it recognizes. But that one being continues in all three states. So one, that permanent, unchanging being becomes your reality, becomes your true self. To reach to true self is the goal of a spiritual life. Let's go to next verse, what Sri Krishna tries to explain to Sanaka brothers in the form, when he came in the form of a wise person or Hamsa. एवं ब्रह्मृष्य गुणतो मनसस्त्र्यवस्था मन मायया मयि कृता इति निश्चितार्था संचिद्य हार्द मनुमान सदुक्ति तीक्ष्ण ज्ञानासिना भजतमाखिल संशयादिम. thus reflecting that the three states of the mind due to gunas are created in me by my Maya, and being thus sure about the reality, destroy egoism, which is the receptacle of doubts, with the sword of knowledge, sharpened by inference and competent testimony, and worship me who is seated in the heart. Beautiful, beautiful expression. How through the words of worship is also there is the intonation of making it true self. That's what me here is our own true self. Sri Krishna, who says that worship me seated in the heart. Who is that seated in the heart? It looks like some other being, some great being, some God. But in reality, what it says is the me is you in reality. Me and you are same being. So here it says, Evam Bimrisya Gunato Manasastravastha. So reflect on the three states of the mind due to the gunas are created in me. Man Mayaya Mayi Krita iti Nishchitartha. It is created by me in the mind. All these three states are created by me. Who gives them the power to create, power to act, power to think? Behind that, the soul is the mind of the mind. So all activities of the mind are based on the existence of true self. So I am that through which this all these three gunas are created by me in my Maya. So Maya is this delusion that we observe, we perceive this universe with all these three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, with all these three states, waking, dream, and sleep. All this is Maya. This Maya is created all this. But where does Maya comes from? It comes from the self, from the Atman, from the reality. And it comes from the reality, but reality is seen that way. And where is we are seeing this all this thing in the Maya. Maya only we are seeing all these three states, three gunas, all activities, all thoughts are in the Maya. But that Maya is just appearance, and that appearance is, of course, possible because of the presence of the self. Without self or the Atman, Maya will not be there. Maya depends on Maya Dhisha, Lord of Maya, which is God or the self. That is the Maya. Man Maya Mai Krita iti Nishtata. Be sure that Maya is exists because of me, says Sri Krishna in the form of a white person. That only because God is there or the supreme reality is there. That's why Maya is created. And this Maya is all like a magic, like a show, not real. It's not you. It's all being observed in you. Then, when you know about the Maya, it's just appearance, like mirage. It seems like this world is so real, like mirage seems to be so real. Then it says, when you understand that is all is created by me, like a movie created. The movie is not real. We understand. Like that whole thing is created. Three-dimensional movie is the world with is our life, and the whole universe that we face is three-dimensional movie. And knowing that it is three-dimensional movie, sanchidya harda manumana sadukti tikshna. What you do is then when you through your reasoning you understand this Maya is ever changing, it's not real. And then what you do? You try to cut asunder. And being the sure about the reality that I am reality beyond this perceptible Maya. Destroy egoism, which is the receptacle of doubts, with the sword of knowledge. Now, this destroying the egotism, ahankara, the one I, the reality, somehow identifying with something unreal. Chit Jada Granthi. This Chit has combined with Jada, materialism, and thinks itself as material. So somehow this ego has to be cut, has to be destroyed, has to be said that I am not this what I think myself to be, but I am that reality that is one with the Supreme Self, one with Paramatman, that Atman I am. Try to go deeper and to think yourself as the Atman, with actionless, with worryless, who is deathless, who is sorrowless, that Atman I am. So when we understand ourselves like that, then we are established in our true nature, in our real nature. And that establishing itself has to be done by removing our false idea about ourselves. The false about our idea about ourselves is called the egotism, ahankara, that I am this body, I am mind, all this ahankara. I have this much capacity, I go to heaven after death. All that is ahankara. Only ahankara goes from life to life. Real soul remains same. It doesn't change. It doesn't transmigrate from this life to another life. It remains same in all life. And that real self is I. That I think now as this human being, when I'm reborn in other life in the process of Maya, that still that very I is the different egotism, different ahankara. If I am born as a bird, then I think I am that bird. But that I that is here in this body, that I continues. There is no dilution of that I. I is same. But the ahankara or egotism differs. I was man, now I am bird. But that I in the bird and I in this body is the same I. It continues like that in different things. So, trying to understand the role of egotism, and I am beyond the egotism, understand yourself. How to do that? So, it says, gives the allegory, try to cut that egotism, which is the source of all doubts. Doubts, what is doubt? Doubt is this world appears so real. And the scriptures say the reality is beyond all this perception of the mind. It is beyond mind. It is all bliss. I suffer. And I say, no, your real nature is always blissful. I see I die after some time. But reality, the scriptures say, you are immortal. You cannot die. Nothing can kill you. Nainam chinnanti sastrani, nainam dati pavaka. Nothing can burn you. Nothing can wet you. Nothing can dry you. Nothing can kill you. So how does it tell you? There becomes a doubt. And that out, where is the doubt? It is in the ego. And where is that ego? It is in the heart, very deep. Ego is very deep in us. This I sense, confused I is very deep. Now, this confusing, removing the confusion of real I, uh, and associating that real I is something as something else has to be done with what? With knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge, he says, it is like a sword, that the sword cuts bondage. You are bound by something. Now, how you want to be free? You will try to remove that bondage. If you have sword, then you cut the rope with the sword. So, like that sword is there in us, and there is also bondage, and there is something bound. And with that sword, and this sword is the sword of knowledge. And how this knowledge has been sharpened? It is sharpened by inference and competent testimony. Inference is we can always know that I seem to be never dying. I cannot be. Inference is one that I am all there in three states, that it is undeniable, that I was in the dream, I am in the sleep, I am in the awake. So one being that continues and observes all three states. Mind is in different states, but there is beyond mind something that is one and continuously continuous witness of all these three states. I am that. Another thing that creates I is uh, the one which was in my when I was baby, when I grew up to be kid, then adolescent, then youthful, then mature, then what do you call middle age, then old, then sick and dying. But uh, what continues as I? Nothing is there. All is changing. But this yukti, what it says is with the uh, with the inference or yukti is that something is there that is continuing and thinks itself as that I is same. Everything has changed, but I continues to be. I was baby, I was born, I was young, I was adult. All that I is continuous. Whatever I says to itself, it may think it is changing. It may express itself as changing state of the body and mind. But that I thing is continuing, the same being as it were continuing. So this is the yukti. It is said here, Jnana sinavadita ma akilasam seyadim. Sansiddha harda manuman sadukti krishna. So try to sanchid there, try to cut asunder. Totally you cut that in the heart, this by the sharpened with the knowledge. And also this is the yukti. And what is sadukti? Sadukti is the testimony of the scriptures. What you feel that one continues, I do not, though I might be changing, but that what changes is body, mind, is, but the I continues. I, if you can separate the I, and separate the states of the body and mind that have changed from our birth to old age, the what is changing and who considered itself as I, if you remove that I, separate that I from the changing, ever changing your idea of you find these two entities. One is that I that continues, I am this, but I am always there. In the young age, in the old, in the adolescent, I am always there. And it is, then if I identify with the body, I am old, but it is I is same. I is not, I has not, I did not change unless you identify with the body. Body changes, but I continues in the body. This is the yukti. And when it comes to sadukti, a competent testimony, it is the scriptures. Scriptures say, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are beyond body and mind. Your reality manifests through this body and mind, through this prakriti. Don't identify yourself with the prakriti. You are like a crystal, clear without any color. One behind the crystal is kept one red flower. Red, what the traditional example is, red hibiscus flower. That hibiscus flower makes the whole crystal red, and the crystal now thinking, I am red. While yellow flower kept, I'm yellow. So it will be so wrong to think that way for the crystal. It will be total ignorance. It is never colored, it remains same. It appears like that. So like that appearing something that it has become old or it was youthful, it had good memory, now memory failing. It is not your, nothing to do with you. You are same. Nothing has changed in you. Nothing has ever changed in you. You are same. So what has changed is in your brain capacity, in your mental capacity, in your physical capacity. Those things have changed. But like the crystal, you are unchanging. You are not colored at all. The color is the Maya. The Maya is never in contact, but somehow you feel that I have become changed. I am sleeping, I am awake. You are not sleeping. Body is sleeping, mind has become awake. Your mind is not working, you are in deep sleep. But you are real, you are the witness of all these three states. Try to analyze yourself, your true self. Says this Uddhava Gita, Sri Krishna says in the form of Hamsa to Sanaka brothers, try to understand your reality, and you then get free from this egotism, identifying yourself with what you are not. That is what the ego is. And that you don't have to cut, really, it is nothing cutting. As Sri Ramakrishna said, I cut, the mother's form came in my during my meditation, and I cut that with the sword of knowledge into two. There was nothing cutting. It was just knowing, impressing, and analyzing that what I see, the form, is not the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality has to be formless. And when he said form is not ultimate reality, then mind went away. It is allegorically said with the example to give to the people. Here also same example. Have a sword, and the ego that is seated in the heart, means deep into your consciousness, the ego is there, the I sense is there. Cut that I sense, not I. I you cannot cut. Nainam chindanti sastrani. You cannot cut real I. But I sense can be cut through reasoning and through the competent testimony of the scriptures. So try to do that, sharpen with the knowledge. And with the knowledge, sharpen the sword of knowledge, you cut that. That try to understand your true self and focus on your true self. Don't be don't be agitated by the state of your mind, or don't be disturbed by the situation of your body. They're all meant to be changed like that, as everything in the universe that is created undergoes six changes. Your body will also have the same six changes. They have to follow the law of nature. But you, your reality, don't have to follow the law of nature. You don't follow the law of nature. You are beyond that nature. In fact, you are the one who gave these rules to the nature. That's what it is said. You are the one who gave rules to the nature. So that is what is Uddhava Gita tried to say. Now let's go to next verse. ईक्षते बिभ्रममिदं मनसो विलासं दृष्टं विनष्टमतिलोलमलाटचक्रं विज्ञानमेक गुरुदेव विभाति माया स्वप्नस्त्रिधा गुणविसर्गकृतो विकल्पः. He gives another instruction what one should do, what should be our thought for this Vedanta Chinta, that Vedanta Chintaya, it says. So what should be the Vedanta Chinta? One should look upon this universe as a hallucination. Hallucination is something that is not there but perceived like that, but felt like that. That becomes hallucination. So what is hallucination? Some you have some drugs or some intoxicant you have, then you are in hallucination. So something you are saying, when you the people say when they have drugs or something weeds, they think that going deeper into the earth and like they're flying in the sky. All of these hallucinations, these are all unreal things that is being perceived. So one should look upon this whole universe is hallucination. So that is what is said. Whole universe is hallucination. And what is this hallucination is happen? Being a phantasm of the mind. Mind has created this universe. What you see in the universe is all because of the creation of Maya, and the Maya is created by you. And something is there, the reality, then mind added to it, and whole universe is just, as I said, three-dimensional movie, nothing that. And what is there in that three-dimensional movie that is this world? You are also actor in that movie. You are not observer. You as body mind complex are also actor, part of this three-dimensional movie. What is observer is your true self, the witness consciousness that is observing you and the whole universe as players in this hallucination of Maya. So don't identify yourself with the actors, including whom you call I, that is body mind, and also this whole universe whom you call you or this or that. Don't identify. You are not that. It is just a movie going on. You wonderful three-dimensional movie in this verse called hallucination. Just to think that way, it's just a mental impression. You think the world is like this. And it says, being a phantasm of the mind, now seen and the next moment destroyed. Why phantasm? Phantasm is when this intoxication goes away, then you are in the reality of this real world. So seen this time and destroyed the next moment. It is momentary existence of this Maya thing. So you say, no, when the people have some weed, they are in this intoxication for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. But what is that 2 hours? That is also a moment compared to their lifespan. What is that? It's just a moment. So, like that, it's momentary. That's why it is hallucination. Hallucination is always momentary. Something comes to the mind thinks in that way, and there is nothing of that happened at all. This world is also like that. This world of all suffering and the pleasure, all this also didn't happen at all. It is also exactly phantasm. It is also Maya. Treat it that way, says Sri Krishna in the form of this Hamsa, and extremely shifting like a circle. Brahma means Brahmana. You know that moving. Brahmana is you are moving from one place to other. One that moves is Bhibrahma. Vishesha Rupena Brahmati, yeah, Bhibrahma. So what moves with a fast speed, really changing its position, that is Bhibrahma. So this world is ever changing, ever changing. How about changing? It is changing like the alat chakram, it says here, like the fire ring. So some of you might have seen that how the torch, if it is moved in the world, you find the ring of fire coming there. But there is no ring of fire. It is one torch that moves its position in a fast speed, and the ring of fire appears. One torch appears as a ring of fire because of its changing position. Alata chakra, that's what's called alata, ever shifting. That's what Buddha's philosophy was, that kshanikam, sarvam kshanikam. Whatever you appear, this all temporary, all evanescent, all momentary. So don't consider it as permanent. Don't seek permanence in this expressed, created universe. You cannot get. It is ever changing. If you seek permanence in this impermanent world, you will be frustrated. You will be all full of sorrow. So don't seek that. This is like the Alata Chakram. There's nothing permanent in this world. So understand the nature of this world as temporary, ever changing, Vibramamidam. It is always moving, always changing. That is the world. And don't get caught into this ever changing, unreal world, and enjoy every change in this world. Watch a movie. It's all going on, moving here and there. There's so many activities going on, so many thoughts going on. All is like a movie going on. And don't you see only keeping your body and mind separate and you are observing the movie, but you yourself, your body and mind, are a part of this movie. How they're acting, how they're respected, how they are insulted. All this is a part of the movie that's going on. And you, the real you, is the witness that sees and enjoys. Your ego goes through. Ego means identified, yourself identified. The body and mind, or whole of this universe goes through, whom you call this, that, all this relationship and success, failure, good, bad, all that is a ever-changing play of this Maya. Nothing is real. Then it says, Vijnanameka Murudheva Vibhati Maya Swapnas Tridha Guna Visarga Krito Vikalpa. An extinction like a fire. It is the one consciousness that appears as multiple in form. So there is only one consciousness is there, reality, that is unchanging reality. And that one consciousness that is there, it appears as this changing reality. Hallucination is of the reality seeing something is there, ever changing. Forms, creation, hallucination is changing, but the reality is unchanging. That one true consciousness is always there, otherwise you won't see. Screen is always there. On that the light falls and you see the all creation, all this activity going on in the movie. But screen is there. That screen is the self. It is unchanging, unmoving. There's nothing there. In the light, in the photographs that move is the change is coming. So you are not the photograph. You are that stable, unmoving, unchanging screen. You are the unchanging reality on whom is all this Maya is done. So that's why it says one consciousness that appears as multiple in form. The consciousness, one unchanging reality, unchanging bliss appears as this sorrow, suffering, mm, suffering, and this tensions and depressions and all that worries, anxieties, all they appear. It's not there at all. But what appears? That one consciousness appears all that. Because if there is no consciousness, there is no appearance also. And it says the threefold distinction due to the transformation of gunas is Maya. What is Maya? Maya is threefold distinction. And what is a threefold distinction? Of states of waking, dream, and profound sleep. The three types of states of our awareness. I am awake, I am asleep, I am dreaming. All these are the three states of Maya. There is no change of states for the Atman. Atman is always, if we want to say awake, it is always awake. So Sri Ramakrishna asked Swami Adbhutananda. So he was Latu Maharaj that time. Latu at that time, not even Maharaj, not even Adbhutananda. He says, Latu, he's got awake or he's resting now. It was at night. He said, God might be resting at night. That's what we do in the worship. When we consider God as a human being or our own being, and then we made for bed state for him, room for resting room for God, and we try to imagine God is sleeping there. He said God is resting. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, God never rests. God is Atman. It can never rest, means it can never sleep. Awareness or consciousness of God can never change. It remains ever same. That's what is it is said. Maya changes. That's what three states of consciousness are called distinction. And it says Maya, that is unreal though appearing to be real. Three distinction due to the transformation of gunas. So guna change, like in the waking state, it is said to be sattva guna, preponderance of sattva guna, and in there also rajoguna. But in dream, it is rajoguna that creates, mind creates everything. It is rajoguna. And in deep sleep is tamoguna. You are resting. If nothing, no work is going on. Your body is resting, your mind is resting. But in waking state, your mind may be very tranquil, it may be very calm, meditative, very serene. So waking state has to be, we have to purposefully make it sattva prevalent in sattva. We should try to make it full of sattva in at least in waking state. That is what it meant to be. The waking state can be made sattva. Otherwise, dream state is always rajaguna. It's always active. Mind is always active. So meditating deeply and keeping all mental waves calm, serene is in the waking state is possible. That's why it's called the full of sattva state. So and if you agitate your mind and dream in the waking state, I will do this, I will achieve this, I will get this, then instead of getting sattva you bring rajaguna in waking state also. But Sattva is possible in the waking state. It's meant for Sattva for a noble person. For a noble person, is to be Sattva should predominate in the waking state. So that's all the play of this. So this is what is Sri Krishna said about the guna, then Maya, and the reality, and this world as appears to be as real to be really unreal because it's ever changing, and whatever is ever changing, that is not me. The real me is unchanging reality. Let's try to focus some time on what I am beyond this body and mind, ever changing thing. So I am that full of bliss, full of existence, and full of knowledge. That reality, that pure consciousness that I am beyond all this trouble of this egotism. Egotism makes all these changes in things itself, that I am mind, I am what it is, how it will happen, how it will be established, what will happen, will I die today, will I live for more 100 years. All these are the Maya playing. All this is the work of the egotism going on. Egotism is unreal. But ahankara, in ahankara they say, ahankara, something is made as aham kritosmi ahankara. So that is unreal, but aham, I, the real I, is unchanging reality. That is the witness consciousness. Thank you very much for attending today's this class. It is online and will be telecast streamed live at 7:30 p.m. today. Thank you for watching this online. Now the closing chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu.